Hello everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome back into another PTN Extra. I'm Evan Kamiko. We're really excited to be joined today by some athletes from the Arkansas volleyball team. We have Hannah Hogue and Courtney Jackson. First of all, thank you both for coming in and joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, let's get into it. Hannah, I'll start with you. You know, you're from Arkansas. If you're an Arkansas volleyball fan, you probably know your story of going from Fort Smith to here in Fayetteville. Now you've been on this run. You've been with this team for a couple of years. Seeing what you've done the last few years, how does that change your perspective now heading into your senior year?
Yeah, I think it's just like wanting to build on that because what it started as when I was a kid growing up and what it is now is just completely different. So seeing how far we've come in my 3 years and then, this year just wanting to build on that and keep that going, keep it growing.
And Courtney, for you, when you kind of came to Arkansas, the team wasn't what it was here where, it's almost like you're ranked in the top 25 every week right now. You're receiving votes this week. What was the pitch that Coach Watson said to you for you to get here to Fayetteville?
Honestly, I think like the relationships we built over like recruiting. It was kind of like all the coaches and coming to camp and being able to meet people who are going to be on the teams and just really gave me a shot. So that was pretty much it.
And so for both of you, really, let's talk about when you guys were both younger. Why volleyball? Why did you pick this sport versus every other sport?
You want to start with me?
I mean, I'll go. I played soccer and it was, it was pretty fun. I wasn't playing at that competitive of a level. And then my sister played volleyball, and then we were playing in the backyard. I tried out, and it was just a lot more fun. And so I quit soccer to play volleyball.
There you go. That's quitting soccer to play volleyball. Hannah, what about you?
I was playing softball. I was playing a lot of other sports, but softball was the main one. And then my older sister was playing volleyball, and we'd play in the yard. And it was just something that I kept wanting to go back and do and go to practice. And I just fell in love with it. I played softball until my junior year of high school, but I knew volleyball was where my heart was.
And we talked about it, Courtney, how you got here, but Hannah, for you, for those at home who don't know your story of how you got here, what was your recruiting process like?
Yeah, it was quick. I was the summer going into my 9th grade year, I came to camp. Jason had just gotten here, and he talked to me, and he was like, I don't know what position you're going to play, but we'd love for you to be a Razorback, which is understandable because I was 14. And I took like a week, and I was like, absolutely, this is where I want to end up. And same thing with her, like just the relationships, and he was genuine, and being a Razorback is all I ever wanted to be. Do
you remember when you were younger going to Arkansas volleyball games or softball games and saying one day, man, I do want to be there?
Yeah, I remember going to like every sport pretty much, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to be here. And I would tell people I was going to be an Arkansas cheerleader, and they were like, you don't even cheer. And I was like, I know, but I just want to be a Razorback. Both my parents were, so it was just in me.
So now that you both are here and let's talk a little bit about last season, Courtney. For you, what was your perspective like having and playing alongside Maggie Cartwright and Jill Gillen, Taylor Head, and making that deep run in December, I should say, October. It is October now, that's why I'm thinking October. But for you, what was that like kind of seeing all of your work? You guys got here in 2020, 2021, and now you're at the pinnacle in the Elite Eight here in 2023.
I thought it was really fun, kind of just the years before, just building those relationships and then becoming so close, playing together every day for a few years, and then, finally making it to a big stage. It was pretty cool.
Hannah, what was that like for you, seeing the program when you were little to now? You are a part of the apex where this program has been.
Yeah, it's kind of like hard to think about because it just doesn't seem real sometimes, but I think like our freshman year, we got left out of the tournament, and Jason kept telling us like the first one through the wall is the bloodiest. So like that last year was really just proof of like if you just keep to the plan, like things are going to work out, and it was just awesome.
For you now this year, you see the three of them leave, and now there's a lot new faces on this team, and you guys have to step up now as seniors into that leader role. I'll let both of you answer. Whoever wants to go first can take it, but what was that transition like for you now stepping into that role of being a leader on this team?
Yeah, I think last year people had more experience than we did because they'd been here longer and they were older than us. So we led in the ways we were supposed to, but so did they. So everyone was kind of having their own specific things and knew their role and what they were supposed to do. This year we had to step into a role of kind of showing them the ways that they can lead and how to go about things just because they don't have as much experience as us. So just flipping those roles a little bit and then being intentional about having to teach them things that they can do and get better at.
Courtney, for you, is that being more vocal on the court, or is that still leading by example, or a mix of both?
Definitely both. I'm finding myself being a lot more vocal than I have in the past, just to receive, especially for anyone who doesn't know what that is. It's when we receive the ball off the serve. But yeah, just definitely kind of leading the back row.
Mm-hmm. And as we move on and you look towards this year, and It is kind of funny because even though 3 of them left last year, one of them came back in an assistant coach role, and Jill Gillen. What's that been like for the two of you who have seen her as a teammate and now you're seeing her as an assistant coach?
I mean, I think it's awesome. It's a lot of fun because, you know, she is our coach, but it's another friend to have, and so we know she has our back.
Yeah, for sure. I think the role changes a little bit, but at the end of the day, she's still our friend, and she knows how hard it is to go through a season, and we can rely on her, and she can, you know, speak some things back to us.
Any great stories so far from practice of times where maybe you've butted heads and had to be like, okay, you're a coach now, like I can't say this to you?
There was a couple days ago she was playing doubles, and it wasn't with us, but Zoe is another senior. And I don't know, something happened, and Jill yelled at her and started smack talking, and Zoe was like, "You're my coach. What is happening?" But they were fine.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Courtney, anything else? Or
There was one day at practice, she was playing middle back next to me, and she had said something, and I was like, I don't know if you can be saying that. Like, you're my coach now, but we were just messing around.
was it something that she said that's kind of encouragement, or something like, oh, I'm still here, I'm still around? What was that?
Yeah, it was kind of just like smack talk. So. Yeah.
That's great. All right, let's focus on this season. You bring in, a pretty big name, at least in the University of Arkansas, last name I should say, and Romani Thurman transferred in from North Carolina. Where have you seen her fit on this team? And really for both of you, what's it been like, again, seeing the changeover of this roster and trying to still accomplish what you did last year and be 13-2?
Yeah, I think we have a core that came back from the team last year, which is really nice because you understand the standards and what you're trying to get towards. Romani's done a great job. I mean, she's young, but she carries herself in a very mature way. So it's been a really joy to play with her and get to know her. And, her last name's Thurman, but you wouldn't know that if you just talked to her. It's not something she's worried about, so it's really cool.
And Courtney, Hannah just mentioned that little core. You have Sanaya Pettis and Zoe Evans. For you, what's it like seeing them continue to improve this year? Zoe's, I think been Defensive Player of the Week already. I keep getting confused on my wording. But what's that like for you to see that kind of core of seniors continue to develop?
It's good, and it's I feel like we're all kind of leading by example. So we know we have to do our jobs day in and day out and show the younger generation and people on our teams what we have to do.
And for both of you, Anaya Madkin, another one who's getting recognition now, just got Freshman of the Week. What does that mean to see some of the younger players continue to get better as this team? You guys are rolling in SEC play, 3-0 so far, 13-2 on the season. What's it for you guys now seeing some of those younger people? Because she's the first one, Courtney, I don't know if you know this, but she's the first one to be a Freshman of the Week since you back in 2021. So what is that like to hear that, and for both of you to see kind of her and some of the other younger players' progress?
I would say she works really hard, and I think that she's come a long way since she's gotten here, and especially since the spring she had to step into this outside position where she knew she kind of had to, step her game up, and I think she has improved a lot over even the SEC. She just has stepped into her role, and I think she's doing well.
And are there any younger players besides Anaya that's really stood out that maybe people at home don't know about yet?
Yeah, I think all of them really. We have a freshman middle that. The other freshman that came in, she tore her ACL, so she's out. So she's really having to go through this learning curve by herself. And it's really cool to see. I mean, you don't want to, as a team, you don't want to peak in August or September. And I think that's definitely not us. We have gotten better every week. So, yeah, everyone's just coming in the gym and getting better every week. It's awesome.
What's been the key to getting off to this hot start in SEC play, being 3-0? And you got some big names that are coming up really soon in Texas and Auburn, who are top 25 teams. But so far, what's been that key as you guys have started SEC play?
Yeah, I think for us, just being present and taking it one game at a time. If you start looking too far ahead, it can feel really heavy and get really hectic. But we just come into practice every day, and there's things we know we have to get better at, and I think we've done a good job of working towards that.
Courtney, anything to add?
No, I think that's good. I think our coach definitely staying present within each game, and he harped on our scouting report last time in our meeting, just playing Hogue volleyball. So kind of just controlling what we can on our side of the court, because obviously we can't really do anything about what they're doing. So if we just play our game on our side.
So to someone who doesn't know, Courtney, what is Hogue volleyball? How would you describe kind of the play style of the team?
Relentless, I guess, is probably a good word. I feel like we always have a fight in us. So yeah.
And anything on that, Hogue volleyball?
Yeah.
While we're on the topic.
We're going to be, relentless, patient, and brave. We're just going to go do those things that we know how to do, and it's hard sometimes, but we're not going to back down from a fight.
Let's look a little bit forward. I know you don't like to look forward, but is there any kind of team on the schedule coming up? I know Texas is one of them, Oklahoma, you guys just played. Any team, any game that you're looking forward to?
I think Texas will be cool. I mean, just they're back-to-back national champions, and you want to go play the best. And so it's cool to have them in our conference. That environment is really tough. So, yeah, it's exciting to get to go play them there at their place.
Texas as well, Courtney, or anything else?
Definitely Texas.
Because I know you guys in last year, were able to finally beat Kentucky, and you had that thriller against Florida where you guys won here. What are the memories of the last year or so that you're going to remember, 5-10 years from now?
First, I would say hosting for the first time, and I think that was really cool to have our family and our friends and our fans all come together. It's pretty cool. And then I would say, for me personally, when we were in Nebraska, just beating Kentucky was awesome. But I would say walking out into the court when we were playing Nebraska, because that environment is obviously really cool. And so honestly, just remembering what that felt like walking out into the court and seeing everybody.
Yeah, I think all those moments after beating Kentucky, that's the first time that senior class had ever beat them the whole time they were here. So it just meant so much, and then just hugging each other and hugging your families because they know how hard it is. And then other than that, just really everything off the court, because that group is just so dear to me and my best friends. So just having all those memories together, bus rides and going on trips and everything like that.
And as we move on more into this season, where do you think this team can get better at? What are those goals that you guys want to reach? Obviously, making the postseason, hosting again, but as a team and on an individual level, where do you think is the next step for this volleyball team?
As always, just I would say improving in every aspect. As a serve receiver, I'm kind of leading the back row, so I'd say we're working through some things there, but it's definitely gotten better. So I think just if we can control the serve pass game, we're going to be really good.
Yeah, I think just playing cleaner for a longer amount of time. So being really good at, stepping into a play when maybe someone didn't directly say, and just being instinctual in that way and communicating with each other. But yeah, just being clean for a long time.
My last question that I'll ask both of you is, I know it's a tough one, but if you could give one word to describe this team, what would it be and why?
I said relentless earlier, and I would say that again. We never give up. We're down this past weekend. We won the first set, and second set we did not play very well, but that didn't really determine how the rest of the game went because we came back and won. So I would say that. And in practice we come and we work hard every day. We're tired. We had a long preseason, back-to-back games, but we would still come in and do the work we needed to.
Yeah, definitely relentless. I think persistent, because coming in every day from the spring to now, you're having to work to get better at things, and we have the growth from January to now is just incredible. So we've been persistent in that, and we continue to be.
Yeah, looking forward to the last couple stretch of games. You guys are back at home this weekend hosting Alabama on Sunday at Barnhill. So make sure you go. If you're at home doing nothing on Sunday, go over to Barnhill. It's an electric atmosphere. It's so much fun watching you guys. Thank you for coming in and talking a little volleyball with me. That's going to do it for this week's PTN Extra. Be sure to tune in next week for another fun episode. But that's going to do it for this week. We'll see you all next Wednesday.